What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharpe, and welcome to this edition, come on in, of Weights and Dates. As Dev gets me my Perrier, it is good to be back on the air. It is good to be back in the mothership. I am at Studio A. It's been, oh my God, it feels like I've been gone forever. But for those of you guys who are my loyal supporters, my loyal followers, fear not. TSR Live with Donovan Sharpe returns right here in Studio A on Monday afternoon at 3:30 p.m. Eastern, 12:30 p.m. Pacific. My content has been very sporadic over the last couple of weeks. I think for the last 3 weeks, it's been very, very hectic, probably over the last month. I opened up Studio B. I was flying in guests right at the end of season 1 of One-on-One with Donovan Sharpe. I flew in the models, the cameraman, my driver to film Womanies Volume 3. Just got done with that. I haven't filmed all of it. I still have to film my part of Womanies Volume 3. I am flying up to Detroit next Friday, actually, to film next Thursday to film that on Friday. So Myron and I will have to do Weights and Dates next Saturday if you're free. I guess I should have.
Let's make it happen.
Okay. Right, I didn't want to put you on the spot there. But yes, for those of you who were concerned, oh my God, Donovan is slowing down with the content. Fear not. Listen, I had a bunch of projects that I had to do. My schedule got crazy. Things are back to normal. Like I said, I'm flying out to Detroit next week. That's the only traveling I'm doing for the next 6 weeks when Devin and I fly out to Las Vegas for the launch of Womanies Volume 3, which I just got done filming this past week. So we are in this MFer, if we're going to try to keep it YouTube friendly. Myron, dude, it feels like it's been forever since I've even talked to you. How you doing, man?
It is, man. It has. I'm doing great, man. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be the first YouTube content creator you to come back to and do a live show with. It's great. With me, guys, as you guys know, I started my Patreon. We're up to 130 plus loyal patron supporters. We really appreciate that, guys. Thank you so much. We've been growing really fast. Patreon.com/freshfit, where we basically give a bunch of, how do I say this? The unfiltered truth when it comes to getting chicks. As you guys know, me and my boy, Fresh Prince CEO, are here in Miami. So we're dealing with the most hypergamous chicks in the world, pretty much. So, we develop all kinds of strategies and how to get chicks using social media, cold approach, all that stuff. We had a boat party last week, which we documented in the receipt tier. It's for all you guys that, what receipts, Myron? What receipts? All right, there's plenty of receipts on the Patreon. So get on there and check it out. And the studio for us is almost done. I literally was telling Donovan how we're going to bring him down before the end of the year.
Yeah, that was
fun. Me and Donovan live in Miami, Florida. Because I got to pay it back. He brought me on his show, so I definitely want to bring him on mine.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, listen, Dev's family, Dev is from South Florida. Her family lives in Fort Lauderdale. So yeah, dude, I'm more than willing to kill maybe 4 birds with 1 stone. Listen, man, I'm ready to do it. NBA Air Dog. Now I'm not going to read his comment. Actually, I'll read his comment. It says she doesn't look like she actually submits because she looks too strong of a woman. There are women in the world who actually look the part. She doesn't. Oh, we'll get into that later. What I wanted to bring up was the fact that he said NBA Air Dog. I think, wasn't that the secret character for NBA Jam?
Maybe.
You're one generation. You're technically a millennial, correct?
Yeah, I was born in 90.
Oh, yeah. You're definitely. I think millennials are on. I think millennials are born from 1987 to something like that. Yeah. Air Dog. Yeah, that's right. Air Dog was the secret character in NBA Jam. He was the secret, like 5 foot 2 inch white boy who could shoot threes and dunk over everybody, and that was that. So, at any rate, what we are going to talk about tonight is, how do you pronounce her name? Her name is Jeannie Mai. Jeannie Mai, is she married to Young Jeezy yet, or are they still engaged?
So they got engaged in March, and then they're gonna become. He basically engaged her, I think, right around COVID. Right around Corona. Beer bug.
There you go. Corona. Yes,
the beer bug, and then like right around March. So yeah, they're just fiancés basically.
Okay, so Jeannie Mai made a very provocative statement on the show that she is on called The Real. And what we are going to do, I thought I was sharing the screen, but give me a second. I thought I had this up. Oh, you know what? I restarted my computer. There we go. I restarted my computer, jumped in the shower. But she shocked the world when she made an announcement about how she is going to run her relationship. And we are going to talk about that right now. Here we go.
So I'm going to say right here that I, Jeannie Mai, going into my marriage, I want to submit to my man.
Okay, good for Jeannie Mai for saying she wants to submit to her man.
Yep.
But the fact that she has to announce to the world that she wants to submit to her man, that in and of itself, that is, dude, that's a microcosm of where we are with today's relationships. The best relationships, Myron, are where women submit to the men. The man leads, the woman follows.
Absolutely.
Obviously, that's been lost in the sauce the last 60, possibly 70 years, thanks to the girl power movement. And now we have women starting to come back around because they're figuring out they don't want to be in charge. They don't want to make decisions. So in order to garner yet more attention to themselves, and let's call a spade a spade. Jeannie Mai's on TV. She did this. Listen, I'm sure she really wants to submit to Young Jeezy. I don't think she has a choice.
She doesn't. 41.
Yeah, right, exactly. She's 41 years old. Young Jeezy could have women literally half her age. So yeah, she better submit. But here's another thing. It's Young Jeezy. Young Jeezy can have any woman he wants.
Yep.
He chose her. And let's not make any mistake about it. He's probably got side chicks, right?
For sure.
Listen, out of sight, out of mind. But all of that's beside the point. The fact that a woman has to come on national TV and announce to the world, I want to submit to my man. What are your thoughts on the fact that she had to make an announcement?
It just goes to show that we live in a clown world, man. That's like the equivalent of me saying, world, I'm here. I will protect my wife if physical escalation occurs. Like, everyone would literally look at me like, bruh, what are you talking about? Like, what's wrong with you? You should be protecting her if some dude's going to rob her or attack her or whatever. So she's basically, it just goes to show how like of a skewed marketplace we're in now, where like, gender roles are completely blurred, and it's okay for women to like kind of like absolve themselves of traditional feminine responsibilities. But as a man, you're never absolved of your responsibilities. Like I always say, if someone breaks into the house, right, like you're not gonna look at your girl and be like, hey baby, I handled the last home invasion, you got this one. Like, nah, she's gonna be like, you need to do this. And the thing is though, is that we live in a world nowadays where male roles are static and female roles are negotiable. Ooh. And quite frankly, and me and King Riches talked about this. Shout out to King Riches. And we were talking about how like women can like kind of like pick and choose what they want to do, or when they want to do it, how they want to do it, whatever it may be. And the thing is that it just doesn't work. And quite frankly, I've always said this because I come from for the guys in here that might not know who I am, Myron Gaines, Miami, Florida. I grew up in a Muslim household. My parents are still together to this day. And the only reason it worked is because my mom followed my dad. You know what I mean? Like my dad made all the decisions. Obviously, my mom's opinions mattered. But at the end of the day, my mom submitted to my father. I remember my mom would get anxiety, man, if he left for work and he didn't have food. She would always cook for him, clean for him. And they're still together to this day. So relationships only work when the man is in a leadership role. I always say it, women are fundamentally incapable of leading men within the confinements of a relationship. And if you put a woman in a leadership position for you as for like the man, number one, she's not equipped to do it. And number two, she's going to start to slowly resent you for it. Yep. And I think Jeannie Mai knows this from her past relationship because she's divorced and she's 41 and she's real. And she also is going to learn. And I think we'll hear in a second here, she's going to talk about her mom, but she's also seeing, getting older, that a female being in a leadership role in a relationship never works ever.
Nope. It never works ever. Listen, man, you guys know how I run my relationship. I make all the decisions. Now I want you guys to understand that Devin absolutely has a say in the decisions I make. I say, Devin, this is what I'm thinking about doing. Or if I've got my feet dug in the sand, I'm like, Devin, we're going to do this. Right now, I've known Dev now for over 4 years. Okay. And I value her opinion. Yeah. She has earned the right to be heard. Right. Devin has shown me that she can be introspective. She can be thoughtful. And every once in a while, she can think of things that I didn't otherwise think about.
For sure.
She can present information. She can certainly counsel me. She can certainly advise me. But in the end, I'm the one that makes the final decision. And she is perfectly okay with that. So I think a lot of women, especially girl power movement activists, they like to disingenuously say, well, I'm not going to submit to my man. I don't want to be submissive. And what they're doing is they're defining that in bad faith. Women know what true submissiveness is. True submissiveness isn't walking around the house with your head down with a black eye, afraid you're going to say one thing to take him off. No, true submissiveness is putting his needs before yours, number one. And number two, allowing him to lead, letting him make all of the decisions. This doesn't mean that you can't have your say. This doesn't mean you can't advise him. This doesn't mean you can't counsel him. This doesn't mean that anything you say just goes in one ear and out the other. As we as men, we as leaders, we have the ability to be able to decipher the real stuff from the bull stuff, right? And listen, sometimes when Devin comes to me with ideas or she tries to interject or whatever the case may be, I'll just tell her, dude, that's a stupid freaking idea. Like, dude, get out of here with that. Okay, it is what it is. You can't win them all. Nobody bats 1,000. But at the end of the day, we as men, we're the final decision makers. We take everything into account and we make a decision from there.
Yep. No, for sure. And that's just the way it's got to work, man. You know, men, we're deductive problem solvers.
All right.
We're more built to make these kinds of decisions and lead with, how do I say this? A logical lens.
Right. There you go.
One.
King Rob with the $5 super chat says there can only be one head on a body, one CEO of a company.
One president, you know?
Right. Like there can't be 5 presidents. There can't be 17 CEOs. There has to be a decision maker. And if a decision maker in a household is the woman, the relationship will not work. Now, some people might say, well, I know a relationship. They've been married for 25 years and she is clearly the leader of the household. Okay, that may well be true, but 2 of those 4 kids don't belong to him.
I was just going to say.
He does, right? Dude, he's absolutely miserable, and so is she. She is her 4th affair in 6 years. So you can say, listen, on the outside, you can say, well, listen, I know a couple that's been married for 35 years. They have 4 beautiful children. Yeah, if you look behind that red door, you'll see nothing but chaos and strife because the household is being led by a woman.
Facts, man. Like women, I always say it, man, like they're not built to lead, and nor should they, and they don't want to. If you put her in a leadership position and make her like end up being in her masculine, she's going to resent you for that, man. Like, it's just, you know, and here's the thing too, because like, as you guys know, I'm 30 years old, so I'm a millennial, so I know you guys want to make some jokes. But the thing is that a lot of younger women in my age demographic, in their 20s, 30s, etc., they buy into this like false narrative that, oh, it's a 50-50 partnership, you know, and this type of this belief system where like the egalitarian relationships, right? That's a narrative that a lot of women buy into nowadays, especially, you know, girls that are college educated, etc., you know. And quite frankly, it just doesn't work. They think like, oh, well, we can both do a partnership. No, there's got to be one decision maker, man. And baby, it can't be you if you want this to work. That's right. And the thing is that attraction isn't a choice. I always say it, like I've went out with so many feminists, man. And despite the fact that we might butt heads on certain topics, they love the fact that I don't sit there and like agree with them or tell them that their crazy belief system is right. I've gotten in arguments with feminists before on dates and still plow them that night.
There you go.
Why is that? When you're a man and you're high value yourself and you exert your boundaries, like, listen, you're not speaking a bunch of BS right now, and you stand up to her, she's going to be like, whoa, this is rare. And it turns her on a level that she can't even account for, because women are designed to follow strong men, not the other way around.
Dude, listen, I totally agree. And what you said, you just made an excellent point. When you put your foot down, and as a leader, what you're going to have to understand, and this is in a relationship, having subordinates, being a boss, whatever the case may be, not everybody is going to like every decision you make, and they may voice their dissent. But at the end of the day, you are the leader, and what you say goes. If they don't like your style of leadership, they can either go and try to find another job or go to try to find another man, or they got to fall in.
Yep.
One way or the other, you are the leader. Just because you say you're the leader does not make you the leader. I think a lot of men have to understand that you do have to earn that right. Your woman has to trust your judgment, right?
Thanks.
If your woman doesn't trust your judgment, if your subordinates, if your employees don't trust your judgment, they're not going to follow you. Your woman has to see that you have a track record of good decision-making. So if you happen to be well-to-do, if you have a budding business, okay, this guy's a good decision maker. If she sees that if she sees you have your stuff together, you're a good decision maker. So if you get into a relationship and you don't even have to say to your woman, listen, I'm going to let you know right now that what I say goes. No, you just start making decisions. And if she says, no, we're going here. No, sweetheart. I'm sorry. You didn't get the memo. we're going here. Well, I want to go here. Well, okay. Well, if you want to go there, that's fine. But I'm going to be over here. You're more than welcome to join me.
Yep.
That's how that works. So I think, and again, girls are not going to like it when you put your foot down. A lot of guys are afraid to piss their women off.
Yeah.
Dude, I piss Devin off all the time, but guess what? She respects it. There are some days Devin does not like me very much. Dude, some days she wants to shoot me in the face. Okay, that's fine. But at the end of the day, she respects me and my decision, because since she has gotten to know me, both of our lives have gotten much, much better. So not only does she respect my decision and authority, she defers to it. In other words, she wants somebody to make these decisions for her. Technomage B5, $10 super chat, says, just showing a little love. Good to see you online again. It feels good to be back. Appreciate that. Redful Mike, $100 super chat, says, women who are actually capable of submitting don't have to announce it to the world. They submit by nature and don't need to convince themselves in order to do the right thing. I don't believe for a second that she will truly follow through in action. Watch and wait. Somebody else said this in the chat a little bit earlier. I didn't put it on because it wasn't a super chat. He says that he doesn't believe. Hang on a second. Oh, this guy right here, Steve Bove, says she wants to, but she won't. Do you agree with Steve and Red Pill Mike that even though she's making this announcement, listen, it's all well and good for her to say these things, but at the end of the day, do you think she's capable of it?
You know, I think she's at a point in her life where she's realized that the only way it's going to work is that she's going to have to submit. And let's keep it real. She knows she's 41 years old. Women know deep down, like, you know, I'm 41 years old. I can't compete with a 21-year-old. You know what I'm saying? And quite frankly, her fiance, Young Jeezy, famous rapper, a lot of hit records. You know what I'm saying? He basically dominated the early 2000s. Yep. And I think he pretty much is like one of the vice presidents at Atlantic Records or whatever it may be, or Def Jam. So he could replace her in 2 seconds. She can't necessarily replace a guy like him in 2 seconds. So I think if his value stays high and, you know, he's not soft, which I'm hoping he's not. I don't know what he's like behind the scenes. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? I've seen a lot of celebrities that are simps. She's probably going to submit. But the important thing to know is this. They've been together this long, and she's saying that. So that tells you already to some point that he has some kind of authority in the relationship to some degree for her to make an announcement like that. And also, she's not stupid either. She's been in the spotlight for a while. She knows making a statement like this is going to be controversial, draw more views, etc. So I think it was a business move on her end as well to say this, to like get, because like we live in a clown world now where like if a woman says, I'm going to make a sandwich for my man, like it's controversial. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the world we live in now.
No, I totally agree. By the way, Young Jeezy's net worth is $10 million. Jeannie Mai's net worth
is $1
million.
That's only one. Yep.
That's a little disturbing because listen, God willing, if there is a God, in 3 to 4 years, my net worth is going to be more than Jeannie Mai's. That's odd that she's been a public figure for this long and only has a net worth of $1 million, thus showing how good women are with money. With the $5 super chat, says she won't submit. She is still about hour. What are your thoughts on that? So she's going to be like, hey, I'm going to submit, but then she's going to be like hours, not mine, hours. It's almost like a transition.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, as always, you know, it's very tough to like, I mean, Jeezy's crazy for even getting married in the first place in the Western world, but like, but hopefully things work out. But yeah, I mean, she's always going to reserve the right to change her mind later. You know what I'm saying? And that's the dangers of getting married in a Western country, is that she might be well behaved and good now before they get married, right? But once that white dress comes on and the vows are done, and you know they've like pretty much married estates. I hope he has a prenuptial agreement too, because he has significantly more money than she does.
Yeah, 10 times more actually.
She could change, 10 times to be exact. So she could change her mind at any time. So I hope he has some things in place to kind of like buffer any type of problems that might come.
Yeah, Jeezy's not stupid. My guess is that he probably has something in place. And also, listen, his net worth is 10 times hers, but she's not broke, right? That doesn't mean that she won't still go after, whatever. Dark Knight Steve, $20. Says, Myron is the real deal. Kid has helped me out personally and professionally. You're the best brother.
Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it.
Dark Knight Steve, let us continue with the breakdown.
Let me explain.
Okay, now I want you to look. At your screen.
Yeah.
He just said, I am going to submit to my husband. Now, Jeannie Mai is in the bottom left box.
Yep.
Honey Love is in the top left box. I don't know who that chick is, but She's in the top right box. And then Garcelle Beauvais, who has smashed into the wall. She used to be on the Jamie Foxx show way back in the day, and she was a freaking smoke show. Clearly, Father Time has not been too kind to her. But you see all of the looks on their faces, Myron. She just said, I'm going to submit to my man. Lonnie Love looks like she's ready to punch this bitch, okay? Yep. The girl in the top right corner, somebody please help me out there. She looks like she thinks this is a joke.
She's married to a beta male.
Oh, okay. There we go. That makes perfect sense. And Garcelle Beauvais looks like she just ate something that tastes bad. So judging by the three, I guess, initial reactions, what are your, like, is this a microcosm of today's women, or is this just isolated?
No, man, this is 1000% like, this is how the modern day woman thinks. You know, when you say things like this, they're immediately going to be repulsed, you know, because submission has a dirty connotation to it, when in reality, it just simply means deferring to someone's authority. But women like this take it, a lot of modern day women look at submission as like, oh, it's a patriarchy. You know what I mean? Like I'm relinquishing my rights to this man. And you're not relinquishing your rights. If anything, submitting shows that you're actually stronger, because you have high value to the point that you're able to defer decision-making to someone else. Because here's the thing, that girls need to look at it the other way around. When you're a high value woman, right, and you have your stuff together, right, and you meet a guy that's like worthy of submitting to, right, because you've been able to attract him through your femininity, your looks, your pleasantness, etc. Now that's actually a testament to your own value, because you were able to get a guy higher value than you that you can defer to. So women need to stop looking at it as, oh, I'm submitting and I'm losing power. No. It's actually a luxury that you no longer have to worry about making tough life decisions for the betterment of you, your family, etc. A man is taking care of that for you so that you can focus on the most important thing, the children, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of these women want to, you know, they want to try to do everything. And when you try to do everything, become a jack of trades on everything, you're going to be a master in none. And this is why so many career women are, quite frankly, lousy mothers, because they're focused on chasing their career, making money, competing with men. But, you know, their kids are getting in trouble at school. You know what I mean? They're having issues with getting their homework done. They have a bunch of problems with like not getting, mental disorders, etc. And that comes from being a lousy mom. You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely, man. Absolutely. I think what all of these women have in common, and this is the thing, man, I don't want to make this about single mothers, but I don't know of a single mother that's a good mom. I don't think it's possible to be a good mom as a single mother. I think
numbers back it up.
Of course they do. Listen, I'm a product, and I can't say that I was raised by a single mother, but my mother dominated the relationship. My dad didn't really show us anything, so I don't know that counts. Ray Kaufman, $10, says, called a misogynist and who hurt you this week. Doing my level best to call out toxic feminism. Can I send you some stickers? Absolutely. I appreciate that. Sinister says Adrienne Bailon Houghton. I guess that's the girl in the top right.
Yes.
Houghton was Aaliyah's last name. I wonder if she's related in any way to Aaliyah. Aaliyah Houghton, obviously the singer Aaliyah, who died tragically in a plane crash back in 2002. The Sinister Minister with the $5 super chat. Then, of course, Tommy Daggett with the $5 super sticker. I appreciate that. Beckham with the $2 says, a bump to get you into the 2 club. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Like I said, God willing, I will be there in 2 to 3 years. We'll see what happens there. I appreciate all of the super chats. Let us continue with this nonsense.
When I hear this,
Wow.
Wait, hold on. Who was that? Hold
so
on.
I'm going to say right here that I, Jeannie Mai, going into my marriage, I want to submit to my man. Let me explain. When I hear this
Look, Garcelle is like, wow. Do you see how surprising it is?
definition, like you just said, Adrian, submitting has a negative connotation. It means that you are less important. You are lower than that person that you're submitting to.
See, and again, this is what we try to explain to our detractors. And dude, listen, Jeannie Mai is putting this perfectly. It's funny how women act like they don't really know what true submission is, but here she is breaking it down like it is. When your woman submits to you, that doesn't make you superior to her. That doesn't make her inferior to you.
Yep.
However, you have more responsibility. And it's interesting, Myron. Women trying to act like men belittles women. women don't want to do the things that women are supposed to be doing. They want to do what the men do. Mm-hmm. So I don't want to say by definition, but by their actions, what they're telling us is that they view that what men do as superior. They view what they do as inferior. In a two-parent household, the mother and the father are equally important. The father is there to discipline. He's there to protect. He's there to be the breadwinner. The mother is there to nurture. She's there to keep daddy's you-know-what's drained. She's there to take care of his domicile and raise his kids. Children who come from a two-parent home always do much better in life because it's a two-parent home. Even in relationships without children, I'm not superior to Devin. She's not inferior to me. That's not the way it works. I make the decisions. I'm the dominant. Well, just because I'm dominant and she's submissive does not mean I'm superior and she's inferior. There's a big difference. Now, if I had some run-of-the-mill hoe up in here, 21-year-old thing that I just, keep around to be my pincushion, yes, she is inferior to me because the only thing she adds to my life is something I can get anywhere else. Okay, you look good. I'll bang you, whenever I want, throw you a few $100s to get you some Gucci, whatever. And then that'll be that. She is inferior to me because all she brings to my life is something that I can go out and get. She's right here, so it's accessible, so it's a little bit easier. But Devin brings so much more to my life than just the TNA, the PTA, right? Yep. So I think what men and women have to understand, men, if you are dominant in a relationship, that does not mean you are superior. Yep. Women, if you submit in a relationship, that doesn't mean you are inferior. Yes, you guys bring different things to the table. Some things are more important on your side. Some things are more important on her side. But just because you are dominant does not mean you are superior. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I couldn't have said that better myself, man. Different roles doesn't mean that one person is better and one person is not. It's simply leveraging, masculine strengths and feminine strengths to the betterment of the family and most importantly, the children, right? So we know that men are stronger, obviously, right? Physically stronger, better makers, etc. So them leading the household in that regard is beneficial to the family. Women, better nurturers, better in general, as far as like raising children, being more empathetic, whatever, they're superior in that field. So they're handling that. So when you combine both forces, you're able to build a strong family unit, which is, been destroyed by society nowadays because people want to mix and match gender roles. But each gender has their strengths and weaknesses, and you need to be able to put them together to best forge the best family. You know what I'm saying?
Devin says 2 things will make a woman want to submit to a man. Number 1, hitting 40. Number 2, be divorced.
Facts. Yeah.
Yeah, or a combination of the two. Let's continue.
It usually can be like, referenced as somebody who works lower than you. And that's not what I'm referring to here. Yeah, but what I've really learned in my life for my definition of marriage, I'm not saying what I want works for everybody.
But see, now here she is trying to hedge, right? She wants to make that provocative statement, but then she wants that back door that when people come after her, she can say, look, what works for me isn't necessarily going to work for you. No. See, this is the problem. The male-female dynamic, there has to be a dominant, there has to be a dominant, there has to be a submissive. The man is the dominant one, the woman is the submissive one. Again, the male isn't superior because he's dominant, the female isn't inferior because she's submissive. But what she's trying to do, what works for me doesn't necessarily work for everybody. Well, if you look at the opposite, that's not working for anybody. With the woman being the leader of the relationship and the man submitting to the woman, the dating market is a shit show. Like, people are getting divorced. Girls cheat on every guy that they're with. You understand? Like that. It can't work this way the other way around. So for her to say, well, listen, what works for me? I'm just saying for me, for my opinion. No, this is not an opinion. This is fact.
She's going to be politically right for the rest of the girls here.
Of course she does, because she can see that Lonnie Love still looks like she's about to come through the screen and choke her out. Yep. Number one, because she's saying she wants to submit to a man. Number 2, Myron, is because she's submitting to a black man.
Yes.
Lonnie Love looks envious of Jeannie Mai or Jeannie Mai. Do you think there's submitting there with Lonnie Love?
Yeah, there's definitely some resentment there.
Listen, you got 2 black women on a panel listening to an Asian woman and a good-looking one at that. I mean, listen, dude, I'd give her the ATM machine. But Listen, she's a good-looking Asian woman, dude. I would absolutely slay this chick. No, like, doubt about it. But the two black women looking like the typical black women are angry that she's submitting to a black man. Do you think that's a part of it?
Yeah, no. And here's the thing. Yeah, this is like the underwritten like reality of like they're not happy that number one they're not happy that you got a high value guy like Young Jeezy dating outside of his race, right? That's already going to piss them off. And then number two, you have because whether Jeannie Mai wants to accept it or not, her saying I'm going to submit to this guy highlights a problem that a lot of African American women face when dealing with black men, which is a thing that a lot of African American men complain about women in the African American community is that black women don't submit, right? So what is Jeannie Mai doing? She's kind of poking the bear a bit by saying, I'm going to submit to my man. And the thing is that this is going to burn a little bit more because it's coming from an Asian woman, right?
Yep.
And it's a high value black guy that she's talking about, you know, and let's keep it real. Asian women, you'd look at the numbers, right? You look at online dating sites, whatever. Asian women are one of the most favored races for men. And what is a common stereotype of Asian women? They're submissive, they're feminine, they're docile.
All right.
So here she is perpetuating the stereotype, right? On both ends, Asian women being docile and feminine, and African American women not submitting on a panel of black women that definitely don't want to hear that right now. You know what I'm saying? So Lonnie Love is definitely mad. She looks like she's about to, you know, pull out a cheeseburger, eat it, and jump on Jeannie Mai right now.
Yo, Lonnie Love, I guess what the kids say, Lonnie Love is big mad right now. Like, dude, honestly, this woman looks like you. I'm going to steal your line. This woman looks like you just stole her cheeseburger off her plate. Like she wants to snatch Jeannie Mai. Dude, I swear to God, it's like she's like, man, I wish I could pull that bitch's hair out, but her hair is real, so I can't really do that, right?
And like Kevin Samuels, real quick, man. I want to shout out Kevin Samuels. I watched his breakdown of this, and he like just stopped the stream, and he was like, "Shut the F up, Lonnie Love." I had to repeat that like 3 times. I was dying. I had never heard Kevin swear like that, and it was just awesome. But I
think Kevin has hundreds of videos out. I think he has sworn a total of maybe 7 times.
Yeah. Like I had to if you're watching, bro, like I was dying. I had to repeat it like 3 times. Shut the F up, Lonnie Love. And you guys are going to see why he said that in a second.
Absolutely. Red Pill Mike, another $10, says women who won't submit will never be convinced to submit by women who will. They will just show animosity toward the submissive women. Wasted time is the only factor that can be convincing. You would think that someone who looks like Lonnie Love or someone who now looks like Garcelle Beauvais down low. A lot of you guys don't know who Garcelle Beauvais is, but this girl was, I wanted to marry this chick when I was a kid. When I was like a teenager, 12, 13 years old, this was going to be my wife.
Martin, right? So the show Martin?
No. She used to be on the Jamie Foxx show. Yeah. I'll if I have time, I'll pull a picture up of her.
I'll pull one up right now while you do this.
Dude, this woman used to be an absolute smoke show, but let me look her up here. Garcelle Beauvais. She's American and Haitian. I wonder if she's married. She's 53 years old. Yeah. No. She's been married twice, divorced twice, 3 children. Right? 3 children, married twice, divorced twice, 3 children. And this and what is left is what you see on your screen. And I'm not 100% sure that is her real hair. I can't for the life of me figure out. I think Lonnie Love has a weave. I'm pretty sure that Beauvais has like fake hair there. I can never figure that out. But yes, that is absolutely a factor that I did not think of before starting this stream. There is absolutely positively a racial element to this.
For sure.
You got 2 black women on this panel listening to an Asian woman talk about how she's going to submit to a black man. And black women are always quick to say, well, some, but not all. It's a stereotype. It's a statistic, blah, 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 blah. Well, here we are, man. These people are in the top 1% of all income earners.
Yep.
A very small group of people. Yet here we are. Garcelle, Lonnie Love. Lonnie Love is married to a beta white guy. Garcelle is not married at all. Jeannie Mai married to a black.
I don't even think Lonnie Love is married to that guy. They're just dating.
Oh my God. Jesus.
Yeah, I think they're just dating. So it's a perfect storm. An Asian woman talking about submitting to a black man to a panel of black women, and we know, quite frankly, it's an unspoken reality, but like a lot of African-American women resent black men that date outside of their race. And that's what's happening right now. And Jenny is poking the bear by this is why he's dating me, because I'm going to submit to him, something you chicks don't do, so they're going to get pissed.
I don't think Jeannie Mai knows about this. I think that before she went on and did this, she didn't think about this.
Facts.
I promise you, after this, her publicist called her up, be like, listen, I applaud your boldness, but you're going to understand that the sister's on the panel. And she probably you're right. Oh, I should have done it.
Yeah, facts.
$5 says lowest SMV and biggest is the most mad. What's new? Shout out Myron. Patreon is lit. Yeah, definitely.
Spencer.
Patreon. Go ahead.
No. I was just gonna say thank you, Spencer. He's one of our patrons, man. Thank you so much for the support, Spencer.
Yeah, I've heard the Patreon is lit.
Yeah.
Lord Sinister 707 $5 says these women on the panel don't want the truth that they have been trying to destroy to come out. Submitting equals happiness. Listen, man, at some point, these itches are going to learn. Itch. I guess I can say that.
Yeah, that works.
King Rob, $2 says she is hit bad. The wall did work on her. Yes. Oh my God, dude. Garcelle looks terrible. Oh my God. Actually, this is the first time I've seen her since the Jamie Foxx days. Know Your Worth, $2 says Red Pill Mike should come on your show. LOL. Give me 2 seconds. Merciless, $10 says, I think Jeannie snuck into the 22. She was the only one on the show who didn't give smoke to Anthony Dream when their talk show first talked about the convention being misogynistic.
Oh.
Yes. Myself and the then Redman group, I used to be part of the Redman group, we actually broke down the video of those four talking trash about the 22 convention, like it had gone viral. And Jeannie Mai was the only panelist that didn't talk a bunch of junk about it. But of course, Lonnie Love, she was running off at the mouth.
Of course.
DJ, $15 says, Donovan, what's up from South Jersey? I married a Filipino-American woman that is called a Filipina. Although she grew up here, she was raised by her fresh off the boat mother. She's very feminine and submissive. Good for you, man. Glad to hear that. Ryan Gilliam, $5 says, Adrian Bylon isn't black. Yeah, no shit, Ryan. Swear to God, dude. Like, dude, there's always, you paid me $5 to tell me that one of the two panelists isn't black. Like, come on, man. Let's not split hair. like we can all see that she's not black. Come on, fam. Like, we can't say two of the black female. Come on, man. Honestly, only niggas do that. Well, she ain't. Oh God, Ryan, get out of here with that. Yeah, jeez.
Ryan, you're gonna get us demonetized, bro. Chill.
My God. Yeah, Adrian Bylon is a. Oh well, gee, I certainly didn't know that. Give me a break. Mr. Beach, $5 says Lonnie's both mad about number one, Jeannie having a black man, high value male, and two, a black man receiving submission. Yes. Black women don't like it when, dude, they get the crap end of the stick. So black women don't want to submit to black men, but then they get mad that other races of women submit to black men. You can't win with these chicks.
Yeah.
Sup D Damage, AJ in San Antonio. Good to see you. Says, any thoughts from you and Myron? That is the chameleon move, and she will be a praying mantis soon. Paying attention. Steph Curry and Latinas love me here. Black women are pissed. What are your thoughts? So he's saying what a lot of people are saying, which is that Jeannie Mai this is just lip service. Right? In 2 years, she's going to try to take Young Jeezy for all he's worth. Do you think that that's what she's up to? Or at being 41 years old, she realizes, you know what, this is my last shot here?
I think right now, I genuinely believe that at 41 years old, she's coming to a realization that like she can't be on this like I'm a strong, independent woman, blah blah blah, and have a high value guy at the same time. It just doesn't work that way. So I think she's realizing, luckily for her, because here's the thing, a lot of women come to this conclusion at 41 years old, but they don't have the benefit of looking the way Jeannie Mai does at 41 and having the money that Jeannie Mai has.
That's
what I'm saying? So fortunately for her,
real quick, let's keep it real.
Yeah.
Jeannie Mai looks better than, probably 90% of 41-year-olds in this country.
Fact.
Like, real talk.
She's aged very well. So between her having good aging genetics and having that extra income and being able, more importantly, to be in circles where she's exposed to high value men like Young Jeezy, she's been able to kind of salvage her mistakes, right? So I think she's going to, what I think is, at least right now, is genuine. Obviously, she always reserves the right to change her mind down the road and, become, how do I say this? Like an enemy and divorce him or whatever it may be. So I hope he has some things in place and is using common sense. But with that said, I think this is coming from a place of genuine desire at this point, because Jeezy's value is high. He's obviously like what I would consider, the guys from the hood. You know what I'm saying? Like the guys from the hood, they tend to be a little bit edgier. You know what I'm saying? They keep women in line a little bit better. And that's probably definitely one of the reasons why she's attracted to him. Make no mistake about it, guys. Young Jeezy has been arrested several times for some very serious crimes. So that bad boy image definitely works in his favor as well.
Yeah, it's almost weird because Young Jeezy and a lot of these rappers who are in their early to mid 40s who have a lot of money but have criminal records, it's almost like they're the perfect man. They're satisfying both sides of a woman's dualistic mating strategy. They get the bad boy who's been in trouble with the law, because let's keep it real, if it gets the attention of the law, it gets the attention of women, and not in a bad way. And number two, he now has the money to provision for me. So it's almost like they get the alpha, seed, beta need in the same person, which is damn near impossible.
Very rare.
Day and age. Yeah, absolutely. Merciless, $5 says Donovan Sharpe is not white. Yeah, tell that to the dude in Tennessee who I called out and roasted a while back. He called back, and yeah, it was funny. BK Standard says Adrienne Bailon is Puerto Rican, same thing as black, especially in New York. You should know that she has to submit being a preacher's kid. Yeah, a lot of Puerto Ricans, Puerto Rican girls from New York act like they're black. Then you have people raised in New York City who one parent is black, one parent is Hispanic, or parent is black. Puerto Rican, they call them boniquas or boniquas. Those chicks are the worst. Those chicks are the worst, dude. Boniquas are the worst. Oh my God, yes. I'm not thinking that Adrienne Bailon is that, but dude, yeah. But listen, I appreciate you don't come into my defense. All right, let us continue.
I'm saying for me, I'm a very dominant woman.
Okay. No, you're not. You're not a dominant woman. If you, dude, see, this is the thing, man. This is going to take forever. Women, see, and it's so funny how she says, I'm a dominant woman. She says that as though that were a good thing. No, Jeannie Mai, you can't have it both ways. You cannot call yourself a dominant woman and say you want to submit to your husband. So already, just a few seconds in, she's telling us, I want to submit to my man, but I'm a very dominant woman. So let me pose this question to you, Myron. Can a dominant woman be submissive, or is that just wishful thinking?
She's
or is she just talking the talk?
Yeah, she's trying to appease both here, because she obviously doesn't want to be ostracized by her panel members, because obviously she could see their reactions right now. But she's going to break it down why she was a dominant woman and why she's like changing. I don't know if you've seen this.
Wait a minute, real quick. Tricky says Cardi B took back Offset. What?
Yeah, it was. The people were saying it was a sham.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, hey, got him in the news. All right. Anyway, my bad.
Nah, no worries, bro.
No, what were you saying? But she was
no. I was gonna say she's gonna like talk about it. I don't know if you've seen this clip yet, but like she's gonna like talk about it a little bit, and then she's gonna say, I need to like basically she's gonna say I am dominant, but like I realize that like this doesn't work and I'm changing. Yes, what she's gonna say here.
Devin says, I want to submit to my man and I want to be a supermodel. Yeah, right. You can't have it both ways.
Exactly. Very true.
Okay, here we go.
I own
Definite G actually makes a very good comment. Says Jeannie has other people doing work for her. That's why she thinks she is dominant. Right. She thinks people answer to her and she has a personal assistant and people do things for her means she's a dominant woman. No, there is nothing dominant about Jeannie Mai except for her facial expression here on the screen, which happens to be very unattractive. Dominance is not attractive on a female any more than submissiveness is attractive on a male. Like, let's stop pretending that that's not true. Let's continue.
Own my business. I lead my teams. I played my own manager, my own publicist, my own lawyer when I didn't have money to have those people. So I make the decisions in my life. When I come home,
you see how she's listen, I'm dominant. I do I'm a boss bitch out in public. When I come home, and she's trying to think of the best way to appease her panelists.
Yes.
Not tick off Young Jeezy. See what she's doing here?
Yeah. She's playing it. She's dancing. You could see her like, tap dancing right now.
Oh, yeah. You can see the mental gymnastics working in her head.
The idea that my man leads us. That doesn't mean that in this case, Jay makes all the decisions for us. That doesn't mean that when he says, how are we spending our money or where are we moving, that I just say, yes, sir, or yes, your honor. Like, it's not that.
You see there? See, again, there's that bad faith definition, right?
Yep.
Yes, listen, yes, sir is one thing. Yes, your honor. Like, come on. Again, when you are in a court of law, the judge is superior to you.
Yep.
He can throw you in jail for as long as he wants you. You are the subordinate in that particular permission or in that particular position.
Hold you in contempt, anything, Yeah.
Right. What she's doing is she's using these apex fallacies. It is either I am completely dominant and I do everything and I'm a boss bitch, or I'm completely submissive. Yes, your honor. And guess what? If Jay tells this chick, hey, we're moving to Florida, she's going to say, yeah, straight up. What is she going to do? Not go? Right? Yeah. If Young Jeezy tells this chick, hey, check it out, we're moving to Las Vegas. Well, I don't want to move to Las Vegas. You know what Young Jeezy's going to tell her? All right, I'm moving to Las Vegas. But yeah, I mean, listen, do what you want.
Yeah, facts. No, man. And she's just obviously at this point, she's seen the reaction of her panelists and she's got to work with these women.
Yeah, man.
And now she's just tap dancing around it. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
I agree. Listen, I think she probably rehearsed. What she is saying now is not what she rehearsed, right? If I'm not mistaken, listen, I don't want to rewind it all the way back. Like, what part are we on? Okay, so I'm at 106. I want to see if she has a piece of paper. Oh, look at this. So she has her phone.
So
she has her phone in her hand.
Yeah.
Her phone in her hand. And what she was going to do is she was going to make this long impassioned speech, check her phone for the notes. But guess what? We come up here to 1 minute and 6 seconds after the Lonnie Love. Look, ain't no phone now.
That's organic.
Abort.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, snap. My panelists are going to disown me. Lonnie Love is going to eat me. How do I get out of this? And so now the phone has been put away. That's freaking hilarious.
That I just say, yes, sir, or yes, your honor. Like, it's not that. It's you know what? I think that we would do best here. I want to do this. And he takes the decision. He formulates it with our overall vision and he leads us. And I like to submit to that.
There you go. She kept it real in the end, right? So what she just said to appease her audience and her panelists, listen, I'm not just going to go with whatever he says. I'm going to make sure I have my say. But in the end, he's going to make the decision. Guys, this is how I run my relationship, man. I say, here, I'm thinking about doing X, Y, and Z. Devin says, okay, what about A, B, and C? I take those things into consideration. Maybe I completely reverse skate and decide to do A, B, C. But in the end, I make the decision. And this is what Jeannie Mai just said.
And I just want to say this real quick, man, just kind of taking Jeannie Mai's side a little bit here.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's sad that she has to explain this
in
such a way and tap dance around it and everything like that to basically tell this is the world we live in, that is saying simple things that are just true. You know what I mean? Like uncomfortable truths that men need to lead women for a relationship to work. You know what I mean? Saying something simple like that, because that's what she's basically saying by saying, I'm going to follow my man, right? Because, I want him to lead. Well, this is fundamental to any healthy relationship. But the fact that she has to say it with so many bells and whistles and tap-toe dance around it to appease her panelists and her the viewership goes to show that in the Western world, we truly do live in a clown world when it comes to intersexual dynamics between men and women and having a relationship that actually works. Because she's got to say these things that are sound foreign, but in reality, it's what works. You know,
her speech is riddled with qualifiers. It is absolutely hilarious. And listen, and I agree with you, man. I think Jeannie Mai is 100% in the traditional sense. Listen, if Jeezy said, hey, we're moving to Florida, she would absolutely look behind closed doors. Hey, baby, whatever you want.
Yep.
41, you're Young Jeezy. We're going to go where you go. She can't say that on national TV. Tricky Trini says, Jeannie is making the speech for the 10% of men that women are attracted to. She's not even thinking of the simps when she's speaking here. Listen, in her defense, she really shouldn't be. It is what it is. Let's continue.
I don't want to lead in our household and in our marriage. I want him to lead, and I have all the essence of what I bring as a wife to make that decision, but that I love that my husband will be the man that leads. I like that structure in a marriage, and I look forward to that because girls, it's tiring being the boss of me. It's tiring leading all the time.
Listen, she's keeping it real, but I want to go back to something that she said. When it comes to and I want to play this again. Just listen.
Don't want to lead in our sphere. It doesn't mean that when he says, "How are we spending our money?" or "Where are we moving?" that I just say, "Yes, sir," or "Yes, your honor." Like, it's not that. It's a, you know what? I think that we would do best here. I want to do this, and he takes the decision. He formulates it with our overall vision, and he leads us. And I like to submit to that. I don't want to lead in.
She said, "I like to submit to that." Here's something else about submission that men are grossly unaware of. Okay. Submission is a choice. Okay? Yeah. You can't make a woman do anything she doesn't want to do. I'm here to tell you, man, I've tried. Listen, you can be as dominant as you want to be. I've dated, committed to some of the hottest girls you've ever seen. Got the freaking fake boobs, the line on the side and belly button ring and everything. Right? Half of them submitted, the other half just didn't. You just can't break a wild stallion. A woman only submission is little more. Submission is little more than simply relinquishing control. Relinquishing control, which means she's choosing to relinquish control. You can't make a woman do anything. You can't make a woman submit to you. She has to do that.
She has to want to do it, and the only way you're going to be able to do it is you got to keep your value high, and she's got to fear losing you.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. And let's talk about this real quick, because a lot of guys complain, women are submissive. Women are submissive. Guys, you don't have the prerequisites for a woman to be submissive to you. You have to be high value to the point that she's scared of losing you for her to submit to you. Problem is, you guys are low value, don't have your stuff together, and you want chicks to submit. Chicks are not going to submit unless you're worthy of submitting to. I hate to say it like that, but like, we got to put some of the onus back on men as well.
Listen, check it out. Don't hate to say it like that. Listen, don't hate to say it like that. That's what it is. Listen, man, we got too many dudes that do nothing but complain about women. They shall be. And listen, a lot of our complaints about women are absolutely legit. That is why the channels like these exist. But you have to understand that if you listen, I want my woman to be 5'2", 110 pounds. Listen, it's great to have those standards, but you have to make yourself worthy of that woman's attention, because women like that, they have options galore. On the other side of that coin, women can say, I want a guy with six-pack abs and a square jaw, and he's got to do fine. But you have to make yourself worthy of that man's commitment. You cannot make demands as a man or a woman if you're not worth making those demands. A woman will not submit to you if you are not worth submitting to. Bottom line. Go ahead.
No, absolutely. I agree. You got to be worthy of for a girl to submit to you guys. That's the main point, man. Value has to be high, and she's got to fear losing you. That is the key ingredients for having a woman submit to you.
Yeah, listen, even in my own relationship, right? So over the past couple of months, things have been very, very hectic. What with, dude, I just built Studio B and this and that and the other. Listen, Devin's human. She started to get a little comfortable. Wasn't cleaning up like she should. Wasn't really cooking like she should. Now, granted, she works for me now, so she has a few extra things on her plate. But she had really been slipping. So a few days ago, I had to sit her ass down and be like, okay, Dev, check this out. It's time to have a come to Jesus conversation. I didn't really have to yell. But at the end of that conversation, she was in tears because I said, listen, you have a choice. You can either fall in or you can fall out, right? The strain is leaving the tracks. Whether you're on it or not is completely up to you. We have these talks, I would say, probably about once every 8 or 9 months, because you have to get them back on the tracks. Everybody gets comfortable. When your woman starts to get too comfortable, that's when you have to let her know indirectly, like, look, just like that rapper said, bitch, don't get too comfortable.
Yep.
Yeah. So every once in a while, I got to sit down and let Devin listen, man. Like, listen, I care about you, but bitch, don't get too comfortable. Don't get it twisted. I love you, but dude, I will leave you if I have to. And she believes me. And the reason she falls in is because my value is high. Dude, if I were to get fat, lazy, all mamby-pamby, lost my edge to succeed, she wouldn't really take that.
You provide her a great lifestyle too. You know what I'm saying? Like you guys got to understand that like she needs to truly have a fear in God that if she loses you, that life is going to suck. Yes. And like what you guys don't know is that you guys might think, oh man, Donovan is just some like misogynist, whatever. I'll tell you guys behind the scenes, Donovan treats Devin really well. You know what I'm saying? Like really, really well. For any women that are out here watching, like, he's a jerk. Oh my God. Like you girls would kill to have a guy like this. You know what I mean? Like taking care of the bills, making sure everything is good. Like Devin lives life, like she works for him, but obviously like she doesn't have many real concerns. You know what I'm saying is the point I'm trying to make. Donovan handles that. So when you have high value like that, women are going to fight tooth and nail to keep you. And that's how it's got to be.
Yep. And again, you have to make yourself worth it to. Yeah, listen, Devin lives a great life. It's just like you said, Myron, I don't really talk too much about how well I treat her. I talk a lot more about how I discipline her and about how I keep her in her place. But on the back end, Devin she doesn't want for anything. If she wants a Michael Kors bag, she can get it. If we want to go, now we had to put off our Hawaii trip. We're actually supposed to be in Hawaii right now, actually. But there's a whole COVID thing and they lifted the COVID ban and we just don't want to take any chances. But if Devin wants to go to Hawaii, we can go to Hawaii. If there's something she wants, she doesn't have to worry about any of the bills. I pay all the bills. All she has to do, put in 3 to 4 hours a day for me, keep my house clean, dude, make sure I'm fed, make sure my balls are drained, and she's good. She's good. So when I sit her down and say, hey, listen, you need to shape up or it's time to start making some hard decisions, there's no question about it. She makes the decision and she makes it rather quickly. She's not perfect. She's human. Every once in a while, you need to get your woman back on track. This is just part of it. You can't just put your woman through 18 months of training and then put it in cruise control. No. This is an ongoing process. So that's how that goes. Mary Ann D says, I applaud Jeannie for taking a stand and speaking truth, knowing she was going to catch heat. It definitely opened room for conversation. Lavore 1980 says, R&B singer Keisha Cole got alpha widowed by Jeezy years ago for trying to dominate and Lonnie and Garcelle tried to do it and lost in the long run. That's what this is, man. Like, listen, Lonnie Love tried to dominate her relationship. Garcelle, dude, I remember that whole Keisha Cole situation with Young Jeezy. She wanted to be the man in the relationship. Jeannie Mai, I think she's probably older than Keisha Cole, but it doesn't even matter. She looks better than Keisha Cole. And that's just all there is to it. Let's continue.
Our household and in our marriage. I want him to lead, and I have all the essence of what I bring as a wife to make that decision, but that I love that my husband will be the man that leads. I like that structure in a marriage, and I look forward to that.
You want to know why? Because she's relaxed.
Yep.
Relaxed. And she's about to tell us why right here.
Because girls, it's tiring being the boss of me. It's tiring leading all the time.
All the time. It's tired to be the boss.
Look. The other two chicks are like, oh, it totally is. Look at Lonnie Love.
Yeah. Still silent.
Dude, I swear to God, Lonnie Love ain't said a damn thing. Yeah. Dude, I'm going to keep my eye on her box. This is funny.
Time I grew up in a household, my mom.
Yo, Lonnie Love hasn't moved an eyelash.
Yeah.
My mom has a very strong force, and she took over a lot of decisions in the household to the point that my dad, unless it was always going to be a fight, he was like, you know what? Go ahead. Whatever you want to decide, go ahead. And I'm just going to.
That's called being henpecked. That's what that's called, guys. That is called being henpecked. Browbeaten by your wife. Every decision you try to make, she nags, she challenges. And finally, guys just say, you know what? I have enough. I don't want to fight anymore. Just, you got it. And then, of course, the relationship never ends that never ends well.
Do me, and that causes a wedge. And I can have that tendency. I'm just saying, for me, I can have that tendency to follow like my mom because it's what I grew up in and I saw it. And I saw in my living space, I would all of a sudden just wake up and go and make decisions without asking and checking in. So I am the fault.
Wait a minute, Lonnie Love is shaking her head a little bit.
That can cause the inequality because I am pulling in my habits from my old household to how I run my business today. And that is not okay. And I'm careful and aware of that today. So
wow, like that is extremely introspective. What she is saying is that I can't run my business like I can attempt to run my household. There can only be one leader. C. Pogson says, Lonnie Love's screen froze. Yo, Devin and G says, Lonnie Love's got the stink face. I'm telling you right now. James Young, $50 super chat says, Donovan, good to see you on the air. I will catch the replay. And yes, everybody I ever do a podcast with, we split the super chats evenly. So if you super chat us $50, 25 goes to Myron, 25 goes to me. I do not take all of the super chats like some content creators who shall remain nameless.
Who didn't tell me that when I could have learned that before.
Okay, so I guess that is the end of that video. I think the one thing, I think the one big time takeaway from that, obviously was, you know, the big decision that I'm going to submit to my man, but it was Lonnie Love's reaction or lack thereof. Lonnie Love didn't say anything. She didn't say anything. She nodded her head right at the end. What does that tell you? Do you think Lonnie Love feels some type of way, or is she?
I watched the interview, and she actually does go on a bit of a rant, Lonnie, about how it's more of a partnership, blah blah blah. And then that's when, if you watch the Kevin Samuels breakdown, for anybody in here, go check out Kevin Samuels' reaction, man. Shout out to Kev, member of the panel, the 7. He literally stops the video and says, "Shut the F up, Lonnie Love," and it was hilarious because I've never heard him swear before. But like, yeah, I mean, Lonnie Love, when she goes into it and talks about it, she talks more about like egalitarian type principles that we know we don't work in a relationship. And you know, the girl on the top right, I forget her name, but you know, I looked. She makes comments like that as well, and I looked up her relationship with her husband, and he's like a beta male, like some fat loser singer guy. And you know, it's just the thing is this. The way these women think on the panel is the way that many modern women think. And to the guys out there that's watching this or whatever it may be, understand that a lot of women are going to be reluctant to submit to you, even if they want to, because we live in a world now that shames women for submitting to their husbands and or boyfriends, etc., regardless of how high value the guy is. Because Jeezy's a high value guy, but these girls are still giving Jeannie Mai a headache about this. Yeah. So understand that a lot of women have these egalitarian belief systems that are not conducive to long-term relationships, right? And knowing that, guys need to be very careful about who they decide to shack up with or who they decide to spend their time with a woman in some kind of long-term relationship, etc. So as a guy, I always tell my guys, I did a full podcast on this. You need to have at least earning 6 figures per year.
Right.
Okay, if you're living in the United States, 35 years old, have a 50 lay count, and have like 6 months of money like in the bank somewhere, like so that you like of earning expenses. And the reason why I say all these things is because this is going to put you in a category that's going to make you what I call entry-level high-value male.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, right? And then once you're an entry-level high-value guy, you're going to be able to exert your boundaries upon women that you date and deal with. And you're going to be able to let them know nice and concisely what you will and what you won't tolerate. The thing is, though, is that a lot of guys don't have their stuff together, and then they try to get a girl, and then they get this girl, and the girl doesn't commit. She doesn't submit. And right. The thing you guys got to understand is you have to have these things in place because you won't be able to exert your boundaries unless you have your stuff together first. Quite frankly, for all my nerds out there, you don't have enough Pokemon badges, okay? You're telling Charizard to do flamethrower, right? And you don't have enough Pokemon badges as a trainer to be able to tell her that thing. So having these things in place, 35 years old, $100,000 a year, 6 years of living expenses saved, and then a 50 lay count, you're going to know enough to be able to exert your boundaries on these women, and you'll have enough Pokemon badges to tell her something, and she's going to actually do it. So that's why I tell guys, you got to get out there, because a lot of women subscribe to this methodology of thinking that I don't need to submit to a man. So you need to basically put yourself in a position where she has no choice but to submit.
No, listen, I agree. And it's not like she has no choice but to submit, because women are going to do whatever they want to do.
For sure, yeah.
It would be stupid. It would be unwise of her not to submit.
That's what I mean, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Listen, you're 100% right. What kind of life is she going to have without you? If a woman thinks her life will be better without you, she will live her life without you. That's what this comes down to. Lavore 1980 says Lonnie got that I'm a PhD look on her face. That's hilarious. Unique 79 with the 10 British pounds says Donovan Myron. Jeannie Mai says she wants to submit to Young Jeezy, which means she hasn't submitted to him yet. Should she have submitted to him already? What do you both think? Your thoughts? That's a good question.
I think she has. You know what I mean? I think she just wants to declare to the world that she's going to do it in her marriage. You know, she's going to continue. Because he wouldn't have, he probably wouldn't have proposed to her if she wasn't submitting already. You know, like guys deep down, like, you know, if a chick is like, if a girl doesn't submit, aka she's not agreeable, she doesn't follow your lead, whatever, you're probably not going to get down on one knee and propose to her, especially a guy like Young Jeezy. Even the bluest pill of guys understand that when they have that kind of money, they need to be very cautious of who they settle down with. So I would say she's probably submissive already to some degree, enough for him to like, get down on one knee and like marry this chick. But, obviously I hope he has like a prenuptial agreement in place, just to be safe.
Listen, I would like to think that he has a prenuptial agreement. I can't imagine that he doesn't. I mean, Young Jeezy is a lot of things. Stupid is most certainly not one of them. I can't imagine that he does not have a prenuptial agreement. Listen, my answer is yeah. She already has submitted to him. And I agree with you 100%. If she hadn't already submitted to him, he would not have proposed to her, right? All these Young G's like 38, 39, probably 40. Hold on, let me look.
I think he's a little older than her. I think he's 43 or 44.
And so he's a little. Oh, wait a minute.
I think he is. I'll double check.
Yeah, he's my age. Yeah, you're absolutely right. So he is. Wow. Okay, so he's born September. 1976. Yeah, he's my age. Because I was born in August. So yeah, he's 43. Jeannie Mai is 41. And listen, I'm 41. Devin is 36. Right? I'm 43. Devin is 36. Devin knows. She clearly knows and understands. She actually witnessed this live and in living color with all of the models that I had with Film and Womanies Volume 3. All of them chirping at me, trying to get my attention. So she knew and understood at that point, okay, if there was any doubt in her mind as to whether or not Donovan Sharpe still has it, she got that reminder. Here's something else. On the day the models flew in, I took them all. I had them all driven to a nail shop to get their nails done for the shoot. Nice little French manicure. Things got a little bit turned around. Things were a little bit late. So I went to the nail shop to make sure that everything got held down. There is a super attractive, really thin. I think she was probably from Thailand or Philippines. Anyway, dude, she was a smoke show. She was a freaking smoke show. So I started sort of charming all of them, right? Mm-hmm. And I said, how much you weigh? Like 110 pounds? And she's like, how you know I weigh 110? I was like, I have experience with girls that look like you. Devin didn't know that I did this. Well, obviously she knows now. Well, when Devin came into the nail shop, I'm chopping it up and laughing with everybody, right? Most notably, the hot chick that ended up doing Devin's manicure. She could not stop. So if there was any doubt in Devin's mind as to whether or not Donovan could sort of turn back the clock and turn on that charm, you better effing believe it. And she got a full dose of that. That wasn't on purpose. I wasn't doing that to teach her a lesson. The reason why I started charming them is because everyone was late. And when you get to a nail shop late, they start to get a little bit antsy. So I went in there, I was jovial. I was very, just yapping, chirping, dude, I owned the room. I charmed the room. All the ladies liked me. The girl showed up 15 minutes late. Not a problem. They still kept their appointments. That's the real reason I did it. But on the other side of that, Devin got to clearly see, the old man still got it.
Yeah, man. Showing the old school Donovan from Vegas, man. And the thing is, like, you guys got to understand, with women, sometimes you have to do these things. You have to let her know that, hey, you got to give her sometimes a little bit of a reminder. Hey, my value's still high. Other ladies will take me. You know what I mean? Because unfortunately, the way women may select is completely different from how we may select. Women need other people to co-sign on you, aka pre-selection social proof, for them to be attracted to you. We don't operate like that. If me and Donovan are walking down the street and I see a hot chick and I tell Donovan, hey, what do you think about her? And he's like, bro, she's ugly. And I like her, I'll go approach her anyway. Like, men don't need a cosign from other men to like make their sexual decisions. Women do, however.
Yes.
So pre-selection is a big deal for them. So that is probably one. And I always say this is how Dan Bilzerian, all these guys get all these chicks. When you have women, other women want to get you. It's just how it is, man.
Yep. Pre-selection is the most powerful, dude. Pre-selection is the most powerful game factor.
Facts.
The Modern World, $5 Canadian, says women don't do whatever they get away with. They get away with whatever they can do. Okay. All right. Ralph $10 says, no matter how much society indoctrinates women into, quote, strong and independent biology, always wins in the end. And she goes back to her submissive role. Yeah, that's the interesting thing. Girls these days only submit when they have to, right? Mm-hmm. You think Jeannie Mai would submit to Young Jeezy when she's 21 years old? Of course not.
Right, not.
Age? Of course not. Dude, she's got sausage being thrown at her from all directions, right?
Yeah.
Now, here's another factor I had not thought of until just now. So Jeannie Mai is now with Young Jeezy. If for whatever reason this doesn't work, and this is why I think this relationship is going to work. This is why I think she's going to stay with him. Jeannie Mai used to date white guys.
Yeah.
he is now engaged to Young Jeezy. Okay. Once a woman, once a non-black woman has been seen with, dating, whatever the case may be, a black man, she's tainted. She's off limits. So Jeannie Mai, from here on out, if it doesn't work out with Young Jeezy, it's gonna be nothing but rappers for her. White, listen, Lindsey Vonn dated Tiger Woods. Ever since then, she can never get another white dude to date her, right? And I'm sure people that say, "Oh, well, she messed with." No. Lindsey Vonn. Once you are tainted, once you date a black man as a non-black woman, you are off limits. I don't make the rules. That's just the sexual marketplace. So Jeannie Mai, I think, is very cognizant of this. I can't screw this up with Jeezy, because if this doesn't work out, dude, my dating pool is shrank to just brothers. Brothers are the minority. Like, that's just how it is. She's not going to have many options when and if she ever decides to get out of pocket. Just wanted to bring that up. Eugene Morgan, $10, says, what about when chicks submit to bums and lowlifes who ain't got a pot to urinate in? They have low monetary value. So Eugene Morgan is mad that men who are poor, men who don't have a lot of money but still have game and other value, are able to get chicks to submit to them, right? It is what it is, man. Listen, just a woman, listen, when we say high value man, yes, money, it can be involved in that. But a man could be broke and not have a pot to piss in. He could be tall. He could be ripped. He could have an 8-inch sausage. He could have a domineering personality. Just because he doesn't have a pot to piss in does not mean a woman. And again, that doesn't mean that she's damaged, right? A lot of times women submit to dominant men. Just because you have money doesn't make you dominant, man. What are your thoughts, Myron?
Yeah, I mean, for Eugene, you got to understand, just because she submits to him now doesn't mean she's still not fielding her options to find another guy that has more money, and she's like getting ready to monkey branch too. So like these, like a lot of these, like, that's why I always tell guys, you got to be the full package, because let's say you're attractive, you have good game, whatever it may be, but you're broke, your retention rates on women is going to drop like crazy. You know, you're not going to be able to keep chicks around because, at some point she's going to get tired of paying for things. You know what I'm saying? When she's dealing with you. So yeah, you might be able to get her to submit for a period of time, but that time is definitely going to be very finite if you don't have your money together. So yeah, man, you got to understand that doesn't mean that the girl he's dealing with isn't fielding her other options, getting ready to monkey branch if the guy's truly broke as hell and she can't sustain paying for all his stuff.
And Trucino says, you ever think that those girls are, quote, low value? Again, listen, Eugene asked a good question. Trucino comes back with a very good answer. Women, listen, we all say that all women are like that. That doesn't mean they're all the same. When we say all women are like that, this means that all women operate under the same set of directives when it comes to their dating strategies. Women don't like men who have lower perceived value than they do.
Facts.
Listen, that's just the way of it. And this is women around the world. This doesn't mean that all women are terrible. This means that all women are women. This is just how it is. A low-value woman, I don't know, how would you define a low-value woman, Myron? Because we talk about low-value men and high-value men. Once women reach a certain threshold with low value, they can't really increase their value. Men, we can hit, dude, I hit rock bottom at 31, 32 years old. I went to Vegas, went on an 8.5-year magic carpet ride, and here we are today. What are your thoughts on low-value women?
Man, that's an excellent question. I would say for a low-value woman,
listen, let's get the easy ones out of the way first.
Yeah,
low-value women are overweight women, fat women. I think that's it. Listen, low-value women are overweight women, women with excessive tattoos, excessive piercings. There are hot girls with tattoos. They're still low value, right? Yep. So really, girls have it so easy. Girls can have any man they want if they just stay in shape, right? So now that we've gotten that out of the way, what are your thoughts on what makes a girl low value?
I would say, non-agreeableness makes her low value.
I like that.
Non-agreeableness, an inability to cook, an inability to clean, a refusal to follow authority. Basically, quite frankly, just to put it succinctly, like a woman that won't, like, if your value's high and she still won't submit, that's a serious red flag. Like if she believes in like another low quality trait, I think in women that men don't have the balls to say is like an inherent belief system that like egalitarian relationships work, or that like she's your equal, right. whenever a woman thinks like that, it's just like automatically like, you know, off rip that this is probably, I mean, you could like, you know, if she's coachable, you can get that bad habit out of her. Don't get me wrong. Like there's girls that like I've dealt with that like they believed in that BS, and then I kind of like had to like get them straight. Like no, that belief system is stupid, whatever. But she was young and impressionable. You know what I'm saying? So I was able to kind of like get her out of that stupid indoctrination that a lot of young women get from being in universities, hanging out with like super liberal minded people. So I was able to get her out of that BS. But the thing is that if she's older, right? That's why like I always tell guys, don't date older chicks because they're going to be stuck in their ways, man. They're going to have bad habits, and they're going to think that their way of thinking is okay, when in reality, that's the same. That mentality is what's kept them single for so long. So with younger women, you can kind of like train these bad habits out of them or these bad thought processes. But I would say these are all traits of like lower value women, typically like girls that you don't want to deal. And when I say lower value, I mean as in like these are women you don't want to commit to, you know. And then also being super promiscuous as well, which there's a bunch of data that backs, you know, the issues that arise when you deal with super promiscuous women on a long-term basis.
The trick is that you can never really listen. You'll never know how many guys a girl has slept with.
Yeah.
But this is why these channels exist. We give you that. Listen. You'll never know, but we tell you behaviors and tendencies to look out for that give you a pretty good that give you a pretty accurate representation of what their proclivities probably are. Right? If she's covered in tattoos, she's got a triple-digit body count, guys. I'm here to tell you.
And that's why I tell guys they got to hit a lay count of 50 at least, bare minimum.
Easy. And again, you wouldn't know this unless you had a lay count of at least 50, right? Well, how do you know girls with tattoos are always promiscuous? Yeah, that is a question that someone who has not slept with a lot of girls asks. If you have a lay count of 50, you would know that most of these girls who gave it up on the first date probably had tattoos. There was a really good question. Oh, Trutino says, kids, don't forget about having 3 kids with 4 baby daddies. Absolutely. Sir Pumpington of Dumpenshire says, Blasian relationships are probably the rarest combination. I have no idea what that is. Which ethnicity of Asian women are the easiest to pair with brothers? Dude, that's way out of that's above my pay grade, my friend. Oh, I'm Igbu Quintu. I'm going to get to your question in a minute.
That's a hilarious name. Sir Pumpington of Dumpenshire.
I'm going to look that at Blasian relationships. I have no idea what that means, and I'm not going to pretend that I know something I don't. Relationships. What are Blasian relationships? Oh, so it appears that Blasian relationships. Oh, okay. So Blasian relationships are, blacks and Asians. Okay. All right. Well, I learned something today. Okay. So what was his question? He says Blasian are probably the rarest combination. Which ethnicity of Asian women are the easiest to pair with brothers?
Oh, Blasian, I think he meant. Blasian, like black and Asian.
Jesus Christ.
Blasian. That's what I think he meant, yeah.
I said Blasian. I'm such a freaking idiot. Blasian. What does Blasian mean? Like blackanese. Okay, got it. All right, so I'm an idiot. So yeah, he says that they're the rarest combination. I don't know. Like, what are your thoughts on which ethnicity?
I mean, man, honestly, I got a Korean girl that I deal with. She's real cool, man. She's chill. I mean, at the end of the day, any race is really gonna be like, if your value's high, it doesn't matter, man. You know, just get the value high, and the women are gonna come. So whether she's Japanese, Chinese, Taiwanese, whatever it may be, Thailand, whatever, just get your value high, hit on her, and then whatever she ends up being, it doesn't matter, because like if you like her, you like her.
No, I agree.
That's what I was saying.
It's something he said reminds me. I was gonna say something. Oh, it was something you said, right? So younger girls are much easier to train bad habits out of.
Yeah, for sure.
Hot girls are very hard to train bad habits out of because they're hot. They don't really have an incentive to train bad habits out of.
A lot of Pokemon badges for them.
You do. Here's the thing. When I dated just were fucking super hot girls. Dude, I drove a really nice Audi, and I lived in a $3,500 a month, 2,500 square foot Vegas penthouse right on the strip, man. That kept them all in line. When they saw the kind of lifestyle that I could not provide for them, but when they were at my house, when they were at my place, they loved it there. Dude, it was like, I had a leather sectional couch, had this ridiculous TV. I knew everybody in town. Pretty girls liked me. Girls like that. And I didn't have to train any of those chicks.
They just fell in line.
I just fell in line because my value was that high. So I know we talk about value. That's why you always have to be working on your value, guys. Never stop hitting the gym. Never stop trying to make money. There is no trump card, okay? There's no way to guarantee that no woman will ever cheat on you. That's just the facts. But you can drastically reduce the odds of you getting cheated on by keeping your value high. That's all we can tell you.
Remember this, guys. Like me and John and Fresh Prince CEO talk about this all the time. John from Modern Life Dating. Shout out to him. Women thirst trap with their bodies. Men thirst trap with their lifestyle.
Right.
That's how you do it. You know what I'm saying? If you can like show a lifestyle that's way above what she's doing, she's going to fall in line. You know what I'm saying? Because her fear of losing you and that potential lifestyle is going to be, remember guys, women love opportunistically, man. So knowing that, you need to feed on that and use it to your advantage. Instead of crying about hypergamy, you guys got to use it to your advantage.
This is funny. So, yeah, I remember this. The hot chick that was doing Devin's nails, dude, probably one of the hottest Asian chicks I've ever seen, like in person. She actually cut a slight little cut on Devin's cuticle, and she's like, "Oh, Zoe," and she was like, you know, putting alcohol on it and stinging. I'll bet you Devin was not liking that.
She did it on purpose.
I think she did, dude. I charmed the hell out of this chick. It was so funny. I skipped it. Oh, Igbo Quinu. With the 10 British pounds says you can bet your bollocks to a barn. I like that. You can bet your bollocks to a barn dance. Those other panelists aren't attracted or respect their husbands, boyfriends at all. Jeannie has an exit strategy to get off the show. Book it.
Facts.
Dude, what do you think? That's actually pretty damn good. I like that. What do you think?
Yeah, she's probably, that's actually a good point. She probably is like trying to angle to get off that show, man. Because like I remember, I think Tamara is her name. Remember that show, Sister, back on the day?
Yeah.
What be on that panel too, and she left. So JD's probably like, man, I'm tired of talking to these like angry, jaded. Like Lonnie's like a failed comedian, looks like a linebacker. You know what I'm saying? And like the other two chicks,
I thought she played D1, and like I thought she was at Texas A&M for like a year and a half. Like that's what I was told. I mean, I don't know. Like, look, real talk, man. That's what it's about, right? Jeannie Mai can't be on a show that is super duper girl power and be married to Young Jeezy.
Yeah.
Listen, I agree with Igbo. I think she's angling for sort of an exit, right? Listen, she's married to Young Jeezy. She doesn't have to work on the Real or whatever that show is called anymore, because at some point she's going to say something to piss off Young Jeezy. And he's going to be like, honestly, she won't say anything to piss off Young Jeezy. You can see right there. She was already hedging. She's already trying to be politically correct because she knew she had to go home to Young Jeezy, whom she had already submitted to, right?
Yeah.
She wants us to think that I have made, no, sweetie. You made that decision a long time ago. And this is why Jeezy decided to put a ring on it. Let's not get that twisted.
And quite frankly, like guys that are smart know deep down, if you want to keep your relationship like, you know, drama free, you keep your girl away from women like that. You know what I'm saying? Like they're going to always like try to poison the pot.
That's right. That's right. Jake Runnels, hang on a second, with the $2 super chat says her only options are submit or buy cats. That's it. Or basically get passed around by rappers into her 50s.
Big facts.
$10 says, sorry, it's not much, but thank you for all the great content. Listen, man, $10, $2, $100. It is absolutely all very important to us. I appreciate that. Truchino says, no, Igbo is right. Tamara left. Okay, so I guess her name, wasn't it Tia and Tamara, something like that?
Yeah, I forget, like the sister show, but yeah, she definitely left.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was absolutely crazy. Well, you know what? I think that's going to do it, man. This was a very, very good show. Listen, welcome back, man.
I'm glad.
To all of my loyal followers and listeners, like I said, I know that I have been very erratic with my live streaming. I've tried to keep, the daily archived content coming, but trust and believe, TSR Live with Donovan Sharpe will absolutely be, it'll be back on the air Monday afternoon, 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific. On Wednesday afternoon at 3:30 Pacific, I will have Sterling Cooper on. We're going to talk about how he got into the adult film industry, and all that good stuff. So that's going to be a very interesting conversation. I'll put out the announcement for you guys to put in questions. Actually skipped a $50 super chat from the Neg One. I appreciate that. $50 from the Neg One says, I will say this. Jeannie is only saying this to clout chase. Any man on her payroll has practically set her up for more fame, hoping to remain dominant in her echo chamber. A woman's actions are the only thing that will confirm her intentions.
We'll have to see and wait.
Listen, we're going to have to see. Listen, man,
Yeah.
I think this relationship has a better chance of surviving than people might think.
I think so too, man. She's too old, bro. She's
Dude.
too, like, if she was 21, I would say she's 1000%. This is BS,
Right?
whatever. But she's too old, man. And quite frankly, women always want to be able to get married and have a relationship, man. Like, women always look for some kind of stability. And she's finally getting a second chance. Most women her age can't do it, but she got lucky.
She did. She got lucky. Trushina says, is the 7 happening this weekend? Yes, the 7 is happening. 7 season 2. This is season 2 of the 7. It's going to be back live 8 o'clock on Sunday evening. I'm very, very much looking forward to that. Dude, the topic we have for the 7 is going to be absolutely lit. It is Meg Thee Stallion talking a bunch of junk about how black women are treated and how about black men. Oh, dude, this is going to absolutely lit. I cannot wait. Lord Sinister 707 says, after what happened to Dre, he
Facts.
have a prenup. Yeah, exactly.
Big facts.
Because I asked because I know KS is still in New York. Yeah, he'll still be on the 7. Yeah, listen, Kevin Samuels is still in New York City. He's calling me like every day. He's like, dude, I'm going to move here. Dude, I'm going to move here. I'm like, all right, like, do your thing, man. Like, he can't get enough of New York City. Myron, it's been fun. This was a fantastic show. I cannot wait. Now, this show is going to be on the air next Saturday. I'm going to be in Detroit. Thursday and Friday of next week. I'm going to be filming my version of Womanese Volume 3, but I don't want to skip Weights and Dates. So Weights and Dates will be next Saturday, probably at 6 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Pacific. Are we good with that?
Yeah, man. Let's do it. We'll knock it out for you guys. We'll bring you guys contemporary topics, answer fitness questions as always if you guys ask, and then, we'll break down articles, all that other stuff as you guys love to see.
You know it. That is going to do it for this edition of Weights and Dates. We will see you guys next Saturday, same bat time, same bat channel. Peace out.
Peace, guys.